On this particular video, we'll be discussing about the remote village of Demul in Spiti Valley, which is located at an altitude of 14,000 feet above sea level and is 35 kilometers from the town of Kaza and around 55 kilometers from Tabo. The village roads are very well made, and the gateway to this village is via the road sign from Lidang, Lidang, which is on the way to Dankar. Now, keep in mind that as you enter the village, you will meet with the children of Demul, who will be the first ones to come and greet you at the parking lot, which is, I would say, around 50 meters away from the village, and that is where all the vehicles have to be parked. Once you enter the village coordinator will come and meet you and your group, and the village coordinator is the one who will then assign you to your homestay owner. You cannot pick and choose your homestay unlike other villages, because in the village of Demul they follow something called as a rational homestay system, wherein each and everyone is given an opportunity to house and host people as per a rotation system. So by default, everybody in the village grows together, and everybody in the village is growing at an equal pace, unlike other villages in the valley where tourism has come in and there's been an unequal divide in revenue because of the people who get more crowd on tourism grow faster. This is the example of the homestay room rather in Demul. It's a simple room which has a bed and a few extra mattresses. The room can house anywhere between 2 to 4 people, and each room comes with an inbuilt water purifier, so you do not need to worry about water. Outside the village home, the homestay home rather, you'll find an animal pen which houses sheep, goats, yaks, and the churu. Churu is a crossbreed between the cow and the yak. The villagers in Demul are very hospitable and are very happy-go-lucky people who are always willing to help and guide tourists around their village. Keep in mind that Demul is a village which has no network at all. So by default, there is no cell phone network for you to communicate with the outside world. This is one of the villages which is still enrooted into the Spitian culture. If you can see on top of the houses, there is hay stacked up which is used for fodder and firewood. You'll find donkeys, cows, yaks, and even sheep roaming freely around the village, and prayer flags fluttering all over. Every house in Demul has their own animals which are kept at the bottom of the house. Children in the village roam freely because there are no vehicles to worry about, and it is one of the best villages for stargazing since there is no outside light interfering. If you can see in this video, there is animal skin kept to dry, which is then used for winters to keep them warm. This is a panoramic view of what the village looks like. It's acres and acres of agricultural fields and the village. The village of Demul rather also has its own Buddhist monastery. You can ask the villagers and easily reach there. While exploring the village of Demul, you can always interact with any of the villagers who are more than happy to meet you and greet you and ask you about your whereabouts. Now, when you're in the village, you have to remember one thing is that there are no restaurants or cafes. There's only one home run shop which is located within the village premises, and that's the only shop. To open the shop, you have to request the villagers to come from their house and open the shop, because the shop shuts early and only tourists come in the evening to shop at this particular shop. The shop has very basic provisions, and you'll be able to get maybe Maggie, a couple of chocolates, eggs, and the basic groceries that are needed to survive in the village. You won't find anything fancy. You might find some chips and a little bit of cold drink, but nothing more than that is what will be there in the village. And keep in mind, no GPay works over here, so it's only cash because there is no network. This is the village coordinator who is carrying with him his animal, a churu, which is a crossbreed between the yak and the cow. This particular animal provides them with milk, butter, and cheese, which is made by the villagers in-house in every house. This keeps them with basic necessities which are needed to survive the winter months. Strolling through the village is a must because that's the only way you can explore. There is no way you can ask your car or your bike to come and ride or drive around. The village is one which you can explore every bit of it on foot in a couple of hours, because the village is not very big. It may be having not more than, I would say, 50 to 60 houses. Everybody in the village speaks Hindi, so communicating with them is not at all difficult. You have to remember one very important thing is that in the village there is a school which is still the fourth standard. So all the primary school education is done within the village. After that, the children have to go to either Kaza or Rekongpio or Shimla or further on to Chandigarh if they want any further higher education. But most of the people educate themselves outside and then return back to Demul because they like their village life. Now this, what you see in the video, is exactly what the homestay meal looks like. This is the preparation for dinner which is happening right now. So for dinner you'll get very basic rajma chawal, rice, sabji, and with that maybe roti. If you want, you can request your homestay owner to give you eggs along with it, either boiled or half fried eggs depending on what you want. The village coordinator today is providing us with homegrown spinach which is grown within the village premises. So now when you're staying in the village, you got to keep in mind that the cost is per person anywhere between 1200 to 1500 depending on the number of people, and the cost includes your accommodation along with your breakfast and your dinner. These are the three things provided. The payment has to be done to the village coordinator, not to your homestay owner. There is no way you can pre-book the homestay. You'll have to go to the village and talk to the coordinator, and he will arrange a homestay for you. In the evenings you can always play badminton with the villagers. If you are interested, just be kind and polite with them when you play. It's a fun activity if you are someone who's okay moving around in this high altitude. If badminton is too easy for you, you can always try your hand at volleyball. But volleyball, they will always ask you to pay 50 or 100 rupees to enter their game. This is how it works in Demul. Volleyball in Demul is a challenge because at this altitude, around 14,000 feet, you need real stamina to be able to get through the entire game. The village pen is connected to the household so that the people from the villagers can keep a watch on their flock. And this is exactly how the village homestay is. You can go into the pen, and this is what breakfast is like in the mornings. You will get chai along with paratha, which is usually served. Paratha is usually served with pickle because yogurt is a problem to be stored up over here during the summer months. One very important thing to keep in mind is that the toilets in Demul are outside the homestay, and they are organic toilets which do not have any water. So animal dung is the only way to cover up after you use the washroom. Now this is after you're done paying with your homestay, paying the coordinator your homestay amount. You can get back to your vehicle and they'll help you load your vehicle till you move to your next accommodation. But for anyone who's seeking an authentic and a real experience of what Spiti Valley is without any network, then Demul is the village that you should be visiting. It's offbeat as you